You can own a house and still be a prisoner. You can run a company and still be controlled. You can look successful and still have no command over yourself. If your moods decide your actions, you are not free. If your habits run unchecked, you are not free. If your impulses speak louder than your principles, you are not free. Freedom is not found in wide open spaces. It is found in self-control. The man who cannot wake himself up on time is not independent. The man who cannot hold his temper is not powerful. The man who cannot keep his word to himself is not in charge of his life. Real freedom begins in private, in the quiet decisions, in the disciplined routines, in the promises you keep when no one is looking. When you master your thoughts, distractions lose their grip. When you master your habits, progress becomes steady. When you master your emotions, circumstances stop pushing you around. Control yourself, and no one else will have to. That is freedom. Now let me ask you something. What is the value of opportunity if you cannot discipline yourself to seize it? What is the value of ambition if you cannot control your appetite for comfort? What is the value of intelligence if you cannot command your own behavior? A man may blame his environment. He may blame the economy. He may blame other people. But the greatest battle he faces is not outside. It is within. Self-mastery is not glamorous. It does not attract applause. It does not gather crowds. It happens in the early hour when the alarm rings, and no one would know if you turned it off. It happens in the heated moment when anger rises, and you choose silence instead. It happens when temptation whispers, and you quietly decline. These are small moments, but they build large character. You see, the world offers many forms of freedom. Financial freedom, professional freedom, geographic freedom. Yet without discipline, each of them becomes fragile. Money without restraint becomes debt. Authority without emotional control becomes tyranny. Talent without focus becomes wasted potential. The outer world expands only as far as the inner world is stable. There is something deeply powerful about a person who governs himself. He walks differently. He speaks deliberately. He does not chase every impulse. He does not bend with every opinion. There is steadiness about him, not because life is easy, but because his foundation is strong, and that foundation is built daily, not in dramatic gestures, but in consistent choices. Self-mastery is the quiet art of becoming reliable to yourself. When you say you will rise early, you rise. When you say you will study, you study. When you say you will remain calm, you remain calm. Over time, trust forms, not from others first, but within. And when you trust yourself, confidence stops being loud. It becomes solid. Freedom is not the absence of responsibility. It is the ability to handle responsibility without collapsing. It is waking up and knowing that your mind serves you, not the other way around. It is walking into difficulty and knowing your emotions will not betray you. It is setting a standard and meeting it consistently. That is power. That is independence. That is self-mastery. And without it, every other achievement feels unstable. So the question is not what you control externally. The question is, do you control yourself? Why self-mastery is more powerful than motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Self-mastery is a decision. A feeling rises and fades. A decision, when honored, builds a life. You can sit in a room, hear stirring words, feel your heart beat faster, and promise yourself change. For a few hours, maybe even a few days, you walk taller. You act with intensity. You feel unstoppable. Then life happens. Fatigue sets in, discomfort shows up, convenience whispers, and the feeling that once carried you quietly disappears. This is where many stumble. They depend on emotion to carry responsibility. They rely on excitement to fuel discipline, and when excitement fades, so does effort. Self-mastery does not ask how you feel. It asks what you committed to. It is the ability to act in alignment with your principles regardless of mood. It is rising when you are tired. It is remaining calm when you are provoked. It is finishing what you started long after the initial thrill is gone. Motivation can start a race. Self-mastery finishes it. Consider the difference carefully. A motivated person may declare bold intentions. A self-mastered person builds quiet routines. One is driven by impulse, the other is governed by structure, and structure is freedom. When you master yourself, you reduce negotiation. There is no daily debate about whether you will do the work. The decision has already been made. You conserve energy because you are not arguing with your own standards. That is strength. The individual who requires constant inspiration becomes dependent on circumstances. They need the right mood, the right environment, the right encouragement. Without those conditions, progress stalls. The self-mastered individual creates progress in ordinary conditions. Rain or shine, applause or silence, comfort or discomfort. They move. Self-mastery builds trust within yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, confidence strengthens. Not loud confidence, not dramatic confidence, quiet confidence, the kind that does not need to prove anything. When you know you can rely on your own discipline, you stop fearing challenge. Because challenge is no longer about emotion, it is about execution. Self-mastery also protects you from extremes. It steadies success and softens failure. When you are governed by principles instead of feelings, you do not overreact to praise, and you do not collapse under criticism. You remain anchored. That anchor is freedom, because if your emotions can push you, if your habits can control you, if your impulses can command you, then something else is in charge. Self-mastery restores authority to where it belongs, within. It is not dramatic, it is deliberate. And over time, it becomes unstoppable. How mastering your habits creates steady, unstoppable progress. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They are the walls, the beams, and the foundation you walk upon every day. And whether those habits are deliberate or accidental, they will determine the quality of your life, the shape of your success, and the measure of your freedom. Most people underestimate this. They wait for motivation to strike or opportunity to arrive, believing that effort is random, sporadic, or sudden. They fail to see that the small, repeated actions, often unnoticed, are what build character, skill, and control. A habit is simply a decision you make consistently. And when you make the right decisions over and over, progress becomes inevitable. When you make poor decisions repeatedly, you build limitation. Either way, your habits compound quietly, unnoticed in the moment but unmistakable over time. Mastering habits is not about intensity, it is about constancy. It is showing up even when you do not feel like it. It is honoring the commitment to yourself when no one is watching. Every day you rise at your chosen time. Read a passage that stretches your thinking, practice self-discipline, control your temper, or manage your impulses. You are depositing value into your life. This is how small, ordinary actions turn into extraordinary results. Control your habits, and your environment loses its power over you. Temptation no longer dictates your choices. Excuses no longer stall your progress. Emotional impulses no longer derail you. You become the master of your own behavior. And when your behavior is aligned with your principles, success is not a hope, it is a result. Consider the person who studies daily. For a few hours, they may feel like nothing is happening. There is no applause, no visible reward. Yet over months and years, knowledge compounds, understanding deepens, skills sharpen, confidence strengthens. Opportunity notices the prepared mind, and doors open not by chance, but by design. The same is true for every habit, whether it is financial discipline, health routines, or emotional control. Each small, consistent choice stacks upon the last. One disciplined day becomes a week, a month, a year. The results are quiet at first, almost invisible. Then suddenly, one day, the transformation is undeniable. Habits also guard your freedom. Freedom is not the absence of structure. It is the ability to act according to your design. When your habits are mastered, you are not tossed by circumstance. You are not a victim of fleeting desire. You move forward steadily, even when others falter. Mastery of habits is not about perfection. It is about commitment. It is about returning to the standard each time you stumble, about holding the line, about honoring the promise you made to yourself yesterday and making the same promise today. Over time, these steady actions build momentum that cannot be stopped. Noise, distraction, failure, or delay cannot derail the person who has mastered their habits. They have anchored their freedom, their growth, and their results in the one place no one can take from them: their own disciplined choices. Habits are the quiet engines of liberty. They turn ordinary people into steady achievers, impulsive lives into measured progress, and fleeting ambition into unstoppable momentum. Why mastering emotions gives you power over every circumstance. Emotions are powerful. They can elevate you, inspire you, and energize you. But left unchecked, they can destroy your progress, cloud your judgment, and surrender your freedom to the whims of circumstance. Most people are governed by their feelings. Anger dictates words they regret. Fear dictates actions they later wish they hadn't taken. Excitement pushes them toward risk without preparation. Happiness can lull them into complacency. The self-mastered person understands one simple truth. Emotions are signals, not orders. They are indicators of what is happening internally or externally, but they are not commands to act. Mastery begins when you pause, observe, and decide. Imagine walking into a heated situation, perhaps a disagreement, a challenge, or even a sudden loss. Most people react immediately, letting anger, frustration, or panic dictate their behavior. They say things they cannot take back. They make decisions they regret. They surrender their power. Now imagine the person who has trained themselves to respond rather than react. They take a moment to breathe. They assess. They choose their response intentionally. In that pause lies freedom. In that pause lies authority. In that pause lies control. Control over your emotions is control over your life. When your mind remains steady, you can make decisions based on clarity rather than impulse. You can navigate difficulty without chaos. You can remain calm while others are swept away by circumstances. Emotional mastery also commands respect. People instinctively notice composure in others. It is not loud or ostentatious, but it carries weight. Calmness conveys confidence. Restraint communicates authority. Presence without agitation makes a person seem larger than their surroundings. And this is not intimidation through volume, it is influence through stability. Beyond presence, emotional mastery fuels persistence. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable. The unmastered mind gives up when fear or disappointment arises. The mastered mind continues, guided by principle rather than feeling. It keeps moving quietly, steadily, until progress accumulates. Consider decision-making. A person driven by emotion sees only the immediate moment, reacting to what feels urgent. The person guided by mastery sees the long-term horizon. They evaluate consequences, anticipate outcomes, and act with intention. Emotion has not disappeared. It has been integrated, understood, and used strategically. Finally, mastering emotions protects freedom. Freedom is not just escaping external restraint. It is preventing internal restraint. When anger, fear, or desire no longer hold sway, no circumstance can dominate you. You can choose your response, your path, and your focus, no matter what the world throws at you. In essence, self-mastery is incomplete without emotional control. Habits alone are mechanical. Knowledge alone is powerless. Routines alone are hollow. But when emotion is mastered, every choice becomes deliberate, every action purposeful, and every circumstance navigable. The person who commands their inner world cannot be easily shaken. They carry a steady power into every room, every interaction, every challenge. And that is true freedom. Freedom that no fortune, position, or circumstance can give or take away. the mindset that turns discipline into unstoppable success. Discipline is more than action, it is identity. It is the quiet understanding that who you are is defined by what you consistently do, not by how you feel in the moment. A disciplined person does not wait for inspiration or external reward. They act because it is aligned with their principles, their goals, and their self-respect. Every small decision, to rise on time, to study, to remain calm, to keep a promise to oneself, builds an internal momentum that cannot be stolen or delayed. The mindset of disciplined success is simple. I am the one responsible for my results. Nothing external dictates my progress. My choices, my habits, my focus, these are the engines of my life. When circumstances are difficult, I act anyway. When challenges arise, I persist. When distractions tempt me, I return to the standard I have set. This mindset turns ordinary effort into extraordinary impact. Two people may work the same hours. One drifts with emotion and convenience. The other is disciplined, deliberate, and principled. Over months and years, the difference compounds. Small, consistent victories accumulate into mastery. Discipline also transforms adversity into advantage. A person with this mindset does not complain about difficulty. They see it as training. Every setback, every moment of resistance is an opportunity to reinforce self-control, patience, and resilience. Discipline is not punishment. It is preparation. Disciplined people create their own freedom. Every habit controlled, every emotion mastered, every principle honored, compounds into independence. They no longer need luck. They do not rely on circumstances. They build their results from the inside out. This is the mindset that separates fleeting effort from lasting success. It is not dramatic. It is not flashy. It is quiet, steady, and relentless. And over time, it becomes unstoppable. Discipline is not what you do when people watch. It is who you are when no one is watching. So, freedom is not found in wealth, titles, or applause. It is found in mastery. Mastery over your thoughts, your habits, and your emotions. You can rise early, study daily, and act consistently. You can control your impulses, remain calm under pressure, and honor your promises to yourself. And in doing so, you create a foundation no one can shake. Self-mastery is quiet. It happens in private. It is unseen, yet unstoppable. Every disciplined choice compounds. Every controlled emotion strengthens you. Every habit aligned with principle builds momentum. The world may try to distract you, provoke you, or sway you. But the person who governs themselves moves through life with clarity, authority, and freedom. True power is not loud. True independence is not given. It is earned, one small, deliberate choice at a time. So today, commit to mastery. Rise early, control your mind, discipline your habits, master your emotions, because freedom is not a place, it is a state of being, and the one who commands themselves commands everything else. Self-mastery is the only true freedom.